My daughter sent me to a hotel so her in-laws could stay in my room. 12 hours later, everything collapsed. The afternoon before my daughter's in-laws arrived, I was folding laundry at the edge of my bed when Claire stood in the doorway with her arms crossed. Her mouth was already tight, as if she had practiced the moment. She didn't say hello. She didn't sit. She said, "Mom, pack your things." The sentence landed without emotion, like a receipt being read aloud. I looked up at her, still holding one of her son's socks, and asked quietly, "Honestly, where am I supposed to sleep?" She exhaled through her nose, as if I had asked something selfish. "A hotel," she said. "My in-laws are coming. I'm not making them sleep on a sofa. You understand, right?" I tried to speak again, but Benjamin's voice slid in, first smooth and sharp at the same time. "You being here just makes things awkward," he said. "You don't really contribute anymore." He didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. His mother, Evelyn, had already walked past me into my room, opening drawers with 2 fingers like she was checking produce. "This room is small," she said, glancing at the walls. "But at least it's quiet. I can't tolerate that old smell." Richard laughed softly, the way men do when they want to agree without appearing cruel. "At her age," he said, "people should know when to make space." I stood there, a guest in my own room, and realized no one was waiting for me to answer. Claire had been preparing for this longer than I understood. I had heard Tanya's voice through the phone more times than I could count, whispering poison dressed. "As advice, your mom still lives with you?" That sounds so dependent. "Benjamin's family is on a different level. You need to clean things up before they arrive." Claire never defended me. She laughed nervously and said she was trying her best. "Benjamin didn't dislike me because I was old. He disliked me because I saw him clearly. I remembered numbers he needed forgotten, figures he needed blurred. I had kept books my entire life, first for my husband's small construction business, then for neighbors who trusted my eye. When Benjamin talked about success, it felt rehearsed. When he talked about numbers, they didn't line up. This house, the one he now walked through like a stage, had been paid for with years of careful planning, overtime shifts, and quiet discipline my husband and I shared. I believed foolishly that it would hold our family together. Standing there, listening to them decide my place, something inside me gave way, not loudly, not dramatically, but with a clarity that frightened me. I saw how easily I had become an inconvenience, how quickly motherhood turned into clutter. I was being erased while still standing upright. Let me pause here to say this to you listening. Now, if you believe justice deserves space to breathe, support stories like this. They matter. Because what happened next did not happen by accident. Claire dropped the hotel keys into my palm without looking at me. "It's just for a night," she said. "Don't make a scene." I packed slowly, quietly, choosing clothes that didn't wrinkle, things that made no noise. Benjamin leaned against the doorframe as I passed him. "Check out on time," he said. "Don't embarrass my family." I walked out of the room that had held my marriage, my grief, and my hope, holding a suitcase like proof that I could still leave on my own feet. The hotel room smelled like bleach and old carpet, the kind of clean that tries too hard to erase what came before. My hands shook so badly I had to sit on the edge of the bed. I stared at them, these same hands that once cradled Claire when she was feverish, that signed mortgage papers without fear, that counted grocery money twice to make sure nothing was wasted. I pressed my palms together to remind myself I was still here. When my husband died, people told me I would remarry. I didn't want another man's name or habits. I wanted stability for my daughter. That became the house. I didn't complain. I didn't dramatize my grief. I paid the bills. When Claire married Benjamin and said they were saving for a place of their own, I opened my door. Because I believed family meant sharing space without keeping score. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself it was love. I noticed the numbers long before I noticed the cruelty. Contracts to polished. Expenses that shifted without explanation. Imbalance, Heather. Sound if you know how to listen. I swallowed questions because I was afraid. Afraid that if I pushed, Claire would push back. And if she pushed back, the marriage might crack. And if it cracked, nowhere would pay for it. I told myself endurance was strength. What I didn't understand then was this. Silence can become permission. Round midnight. My phone buzzed. Come back early tomorrow. Claire wrote. Don't hang around the house. They'll be uncomfortable. No concern. No softness. Just instruction. I whispered into the empty room. I am her mother. The words sounded foreign. After hours of quiet crying, I opened my suitcase not for clothes, but for a thin folder I always carried. Bank letters. Documents. A personal guarantee with my signature. Just until we get on our feet, Benjamin had said. I saw how close the reassessment date was, and I understood something clearly. My silence was holding everything together. By morning, I made calls. To the bank. To an attorney. To my neighbor, who reminded me I was not trash. I withdrew my guarantee, not as revenge. As cause and effect. I organized documents I had been trusted with because I was invisible. Nothing stolen, nothing altered. Just truth finally placed where truth belongs. When consequences began, I did not celebrate. I watched. Benjamin panicked. Claire pleaded. His parents recalculated. When Claire asked, "What did you do?" I answered honestly. I stopped holding things together. Later, they asked me to apologize. To Nil. Evelyn said, an older woman who lives off her daughter. It's embarrassing, Benjamin said. Just apologize. And this, I looked at my grandson watching, learning, and I understood. An apology wouldn't bring peace. It would confirm their lie. So I stood. I'm not apologizing, I said calmly. I am the reason this house ever stood. Silence filled the room, the kind that reveals. I took my coat. I kissed Noah's head, and I walked out without rushing. For the first time in years, I did not feel small. I didn't win by taking something from them. I won by taking myself back. Love does not require erasure. Protection that costs dignity is not love. If this story feels familiar, hear this. You are not cruel for choosing yourself. Justice does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly with boundaries, paperwork, and a steady voice that says,